All right, welcome back to Two Idiots Doing a Podcast. I am Daniel. Nate is on the other side. A little bit of a rundown of what the episode's going to look like today. We're going to start with our normal stuff: the Immaculate Grid, Pickle, Batter Up. We're going to continue our new segment of, I guess it's not new, it's been the past couple podcasts, but our new thing that we're doing is likable to hated teams and ranking them in order from the most likable to the most hated. We have done 1 through 8. So today we're going to focus on 9 through 12. And then Nate has a new game for us that we're going to try. And I'll let him explain it when we get there. Then we're going to jump into the MLB. We're going to do a little bit of our fantasy update. Kind of just talk about what's kind of gone on in the MLB this past week. Not a whole lot, but I mean, I feel like enough. For a mention, we'll do a loser team of the week like we've been doing in the MLB. And then the NHL, both conference finals are over. So we're going to talk about how those went, what our thoughts on, and then we're going to make Stanley Cup Finals predictions. So we're going to start off like we normally do with Immaculate Grid.
Going over to Immaculate Grid chat. Got to prove our ball knowledge, a.k.a. embarrass ourselves on a weekly basis. We live up to the podcast name, that's for sure. So, I think you picked the grid number last time, although this one doesn't look like the one we did, which is weird.
I think that's one we've done in the past.
It is. My computer's kind of freaking out right now, though. It's really angry. Why? Okay, that was weird. I'm going to do a fresh one. We're going to go 775.
Ooh, brand new.
Okay, so the rows are Astros, Mets, and 2,000 strikeouts in a career. Columns are Padres, Mariners, and 40-plus career WAR. This could be a little sauce. Astros career WAR. We could probably start with career WAR at least. Now it must play one game for the WAR, so you don't have to accumulate 40 WAR for the team, and that makes sense because it'd be pretty impressive to.
I was gonna say 40 plus with one team would be crazy.
Yeah. So that's.
I mean, the first couple that come to mind is Beltran or Piazza. Lindor,
Wait!
maybe.
Oh my gosh! We get to do it. Mets Padres, Mike Piazza. It was Padres, right? Yeah, baby! Let's go! I said a couple episodes ago. He started with the Dodgers, to be fair.
Well,
he played more. He's more of a Met to us, but I think he played a long time in LA too.
I was gonna say, I feel like he's more known as a Met than he is a Dodger.
I think it's more of a generational thing. We would know him as a Met. I think the generation before us, millennials, it depends. I think some millennials would think him as a Dodger. He's probably mostly known as a Met, but he did. It's not like he played like a year for LA. He played several. So we do have. We could do Mets, Mariners. Crap. Robinson Cano, obviously.
Yeah. But I feel like that's going to be a high percentage.
Edwin Diaz? Was Edwin Diaz in that trade? I can't remember.
I'm trying to remember if he was a part of that. Do you remember Diego Castillo?
Yeah, I remember the name.
I think he still plays. Or is in the minor leagues somewhere. Did he ever play for the Mets? I know he's... Or Fernando Rodney.
I was debating Rodney. I don't know if he played for the Mets, though.
I don't either. I just know he's also another, well-traveled guy that Seattle's had in the past.
Mm-hmm. That's a tough one, but I don't think so. I'm trying to think Mike Cameron.
Do you know Ryan Stanek? He was long known as an Astro. Okay, never mind. I don't know why relievers are coming to my mind.
That's good. We kind of need that. That's we're gonna generate that. So we could do Beltron for 40 WAR if you feel confident that you got.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm just not 100% sure how. I mean,
He
I know
played a
he's
long time.
a great ball player, but like at the end of his years, did he still have a positive WAR that didn't take away from it?
Well, I can tell you he was good in St. Louis, and that was around 2013. So,
So he could have.
I feel like in his. Yeah, we could stray away from that in a minute. We could do Jeff Bagwell for the Astros. I feel like.
Yeah, or you could do Biggio. Probably had it. But I think Bagwell would be a less remembered name.
You think so? I think Bagwell actually might be top. Well, let's go with Bagwell. 18%.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he was an Astros legend.
I mean, so is Biggio. Oh, we could have also gone probably Roy Oswalt.
I don't know if he kind of just fell off.
That's fair. That's fair.
If I remember.
Or we could have thrown out, rest in peace, Roy Halladay.
Did he play for the Astros?
Yeah.
What?
I'm pretty sure that's where he got his name.
I'm gonna look this up. This is
I'm
crazy.
pretty sure it was him and Oswalt that were tearing it up.
He used Toronto and Philly only.
Oh, really?
Roy Halladay.
I thought he came to the
Maybe he was drafted.
Maybe.
No, he was drafted by Toronto.
Okay.
I was about to say, I was like, what? I watched that dude play. I was like,
Never mind.
But then again, I watched Mike Piazza and he played for the Padres, so albeit like 5 games, but
I don't know then why I thought he played for the Astros.
Nah, it's all good. I'm glad I locked in. I think Jeff Bagwell's going to be highest. Oh, although 18% does give us a chance that it might not be, but it could. You know what? I bet it's Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens probably is. All right, but I think Jeff is probably number 2, and then Biggio would be 3. Let's see. Let's go. Let's just knock out WAR really quick. So Mets, WAR. We're hesitant on Beltran. I feel fairly confident that we could put him down and it'd be okay. We could do. Who's the big Met? Like, oh crap.
I mean, there's Delgado. I don't know how long he played.
Tom Glavine. Do Tom Glavine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna risk it with Beltran. I think he did it. Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I was gonna say if he had a good enough prime.
Yeah, he had a long enough career, and he was good in his career.
Let me look up how close he is. He's on a Hall of Fame ballot. Well, I guess everybody is thrown on the ballot technically, I suppose, to an extent. But I'd be willing to bet he got close to 70. We were fine.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I figured it wasn't that. Yeah, he was too good. Now, is that good enough for the Hall of Fame? That's a different question. It's borderline. That's we'll see. But and so 40 WAR and 2,000 strikeouts career pitching.
You have guys like Nolan Ryan that we could throw in there. I don't know if WAR was being tracked back then, but
I imagine.
I would assume Maddox
it's calculated now. So I think WAR, you could track WAR for anybody because you could calculate WAR. I think based as long as we have the stat sheets and all that. Because I can look it up in a minute. I'm not gonna do Nolan Ryan, but I can check it in a second. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do something utterly risky. I think 2,000 strikeouts though might be too much. I don't know. Bob Gibson be nasty pull, but I'm a little scared.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't know if the Immaculate Grid follows MLB stats, because now they're included. So even the Negro League stats. Which Randy?
I would love to do Satchel Paige. That would be immaculate. But that would
40
not.
years? Almost.
Well, he played into the 40s, and then I think he played like 2 years in the MLB in the 60s. He finally got his opportunity like 20 years later.
Yeah.
So I think he stopped for a while, and then the MLB was like, "Hey, you can play now." And bro balled out for being 57 years old or whatever it was. I think it like 1 year he had like an ERA of 3. I was like, for a 56-year-old, that's pretty good.
That's crazy.
But we got to lock in here. So, I mean, Randy Johnson's the obvious answer for Mariners in 2000K pitching. Do we think Felix has done it? Also, it doesn't necessarily have to be a guy.
I think they celebrated him, Felix, getting 2,000.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if he's going to... Yeah, I thought he was going to be the highest one. Yeah.
I thought Randy might have been. That's kind of a bummer.
I think Hernandez is just more well-known as a Mariner.
Than Randy.
More recent. Yeah. And more recent than Randy.
Padres in 2000. You think Darvish has hit it yet?
That's a tough one.
I want to go for it so bad.
I was going to say, he's been in the league, I feel like, long enough. I would risk it. I feel like that's probably your best option. I mean, James Shield, but he wasn't in it near enough. Yeah.
Oh, that's 24%? I thought that was going to be a better pull than that. That's a bummer.
I don't know if the Padres have a lot. I mean, they're going to have...
it just, all it matters is the guys that played their one game. So that there will be more than you think.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's all the qualifier that is for that.
I mean, the main Padre Astro that's coming to mind is Hader.
Astros Padre. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna do it. It's gonna cost us a bit, but yeah, we're not getting a great one. But I kind of want to just lock in and get 9 for 9 and just make sure we at least get all of them. Astros, Mariners.
I don't want to risk it. You want 9 for 9.
Well, we could do some risky stuff. Like, this is not going to be a great score anyway. We got a couple lower pulls, but most of them are double digits. So we kind of need to try to get riskier pulls at this point.
I think... you remember Rafael Montero?
Another name,
for the Rangers?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he played for Seattle, but I can't 100% recall it.
I'm going to go for it. What a pull. What a freaking pull. That was good. That helped us a bit.
I think it was only for half a season, too. I don't think it was a full season.
That's a good pull.
Yeah.
Mariners, Mets. I mean, Robinson Cano is obviously right there. Bartolo, oddly enough, he did not play for Seattle, unfortunately.
Crazy.
I don't think.
We should have put Bartolo for 2,000 career strikeouts.
We still technically can.
Does he have a 40-plus
Do we think he has...
WAR?
Screw it! If he doesn't... Okay, I was going to say, let's go! Yeah, big sexy.
Our first time pulling him out.
Oh, man. First of many. Chat.
Oh, yeah. He'll be pulled out again. Man.
Look at him in that Guardians hat.
What, one of 28 teams that he played for?
Oh, man. I feel like Edwin did play for Seattle briefly. He had, because what did they get for... They had to have.
So if you're positive, go for it. Shoot for it. Because I don't remember where he played for.
Baltimore.
I don't recall where he played for before, or who he played for before the Mets.
All right, our final score is 124. We could have done better, but we got 9 for 9, so I feel pretty good about that. So we're gonna move over to Pickle. especially since the matchups are a little weird. So I feel like that's a solid B plus B performance.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
So
some small market. Maybe not all of them are small market, but not
Mets
lesser
are
known
not small
teams.
market. Padres aren't
Lesser,
anymore. Padres were.
yeah,
Um,
lesser known teams.
Astros and Mariners for sure. Come on. Yeah, guys, just get ready. I'm gonna glaze the heck out of my Pookie Bear, Cal Riley. He did lock in and get us right-handed for throwing, and was born in the U.S. So could be in the AL or is the NL West. So,
I'm gonna throw out a name: Harrison Bader, because he plays for the Twins now. Yep. Okay, Central.
it is AL Central. Okay. It's not the Twins, so it's not Jose Ramirez because he's a switch hitter. What was that? What's Big Christmas's name? But he hits lefty, doesn't he?
No, he
And
hits
he's-
righty.
Oh, he hits righty.
It's like Noel Kenzie or whatever. There it is.
There it is.
Noel.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was worried about, though. He's not American. Shoot. I'm tempted to do it anyway, because age is a lot younger, different position.
What's their center fielder's name? Logan. He played for the Nationals.
I'm drawing a blank.
Logan Thomas. He's a
Logan
righty.
Thomas.
I'm pretty sure.
Call out.
No? I thought it was Logan Thomas. Okay, never mind. Nope. Naylor's a lefty hitter.
I was debating on Stephen Kwan, but I forgot
He
he
hits lefty.
bats and throws lefty, so he really doesn't help us. Okay, I'm gonna skip Guardians for a moment. Wait, it could. Oh, Robert's not American though. Crap. He's Cuban.
Oh, throw out Bybee.
That's a good alright call. I think it's not within. Yeah, it's not gonna be him. Because it's a starter. Good snag though. So it's a starter on either the White Sox,
Or the
Twins, or
Royals.
Royals.
Well, it's not the Twins.
I'm sorry, White Sox, Tigers.
If it's the White Sox.
I think Screwball's too.
He throws left.
Throws left. Yeah. So
I mean,
hang on. So looking at our age range right now, it cannot be. He's got to be really young or really old. So he has to at least be 33, or at least 23.
How old is Flaherty?
Flirty is 33, I think. No, he's 29.
Oh,
I
wow.
lied. Fake news chat.
How about Jackson Jobe? Or Casey
Job's
Mize?
gonna be. It's
Either
gonna be
one.
25, 20. Oh, Jackson Job's 22. We can try Jackson Job.
Okay, so not the
No.
Tigers.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so he's 33 plus. Has to be. Unless is there a player in the majors right now that's 19 years old? I don't think so.
Michael Wacha?
Michael Watt, isn't he left? Am I lying?
Oh, maybe he hits
No,
left.
he's righty. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Joe Kelly.
There
It
it
was
is.
Michael Wacha. Bang!
I see what they did. He threw 7 no-hit innings yesterday.
I dropped that dude. I hate my life. He wasn't even doing that bad for me either. Wasn't a huge fan of drafting him. Stupid move on my part. That's okay. I'll just deal with the inevitable pain that finding pitching's impossible this year.
It is. It is.
It's brutal out here. Okay, so it's a lefty for batter up. While naturally glazing Cal Riley today, chat. It's been working. Look at this. Got a lot of yellow on there. So one of these days.
How can the number be yellow?
That's a good question. What?
It's either. Okay, it's within 10
10.
place values. Okay.
I'm not going to rely on that because I don't know jersey numbers. So it could be AL Central.
I mean, you could try Jose Ramirez. Well, he's not.
You're
American.
right,
He's
Tyler
not
Soderstrom.
That's it.
Why'd I do that? Because it's AL West. That was really stupid. I'm sorry. Unless I'm placing my team. You're right.
I don't know. Try Stephen Kwan. I don't know if he's American, but I'm pretty sure
He is. Whoa, good snag. Alright, it better not be the Logan guy you're talking about.
No, the Logan guy's a righty.
So it's a Guardian though.
Is it Skeenman or however his name is?
Oh gosh, I know.
SCHE. Here, let me look it up for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as long as we're listing it.
How to spell it.
Yeah, we're looking at how to spell it, chat.
SCHN.
Daniel Schneeman. I had him on fantasy for a bit.
Yep, that's the guy.
It's not him. He's.
Oh.
It says he's shortstop, but again, I don't feel like that's true. He's
a utility guy.
He's utility. Well, I know this because I clearly don't remember his freaking name. Well, actually, he was hot before I picked him up, and then I picked him up, and he went 0 for 19. Bum. Classic.
Is it Manzardo?
That'd be a... Oh, we're cooked.
Interesting.
Oh, I should have... No, I should have called you on that one. I knew Manzardo was a first baseman. I had him too. So I had him, Soderstrom, and Torkelson all at one point, trying to bank on one of them panning out, and Manzardo had dropped. But
it has to be a bench player then.
Yeah, I don't know their bench. Chief Wahoo.
Rocchino, or however you pronounce ROCC, and it should pop up.
I'm gonna do it. Dang.
That was my last. Who was this? Nolan Jones? I forgot he was a Guardian.
Jones.
He's also injured. So.
Wait, what's today's pitcher? Wait, what is this?
Pitcher one?
There's a pitcher one. What are we doing?
What the?
I said we could do one of the. So if we get one right, then we don't do the other. But since we screwed up, we gotta do pitcher now. Heck yeah. So this is clearly a righty. So obviously it is my glorious Pookie, Zach Wheeler. That was possibly the worst guess of all time. Didn't get anything. Don't let me cook, man. Oh, what? I'm just curious. Okay.
Try Giolito.
Giolito.
I don't think it is.
Isn't it G-I? I thought it was a G-I-O.
Yeah, G-I-O.
He's not popping up. Is it Gio?
Do they not have him in their system? His first name's Lucas.
Lucas, yeah. Lucas G-I-O. Yeah. I'm spelling it right. He's not in here.
Okay, never mind. Well, it takes off.
Is Bueller a lefty?
No, he's a righty.
He's righty. Okay, I suck right now. Well, he's he's either in his prime years or a little bit older. Okay, so it's AL because we guessed NL East, it's not NL East,
Yeah.
so it is AL.
Throw out Casey Mize.
Casey Mize. Okay, so there is AL
28.
West.
Is this? No, Leiter's too young.
Wait. Oh, is it Tyler? What's Miley's first name?
M.A. Tyler.
Yeah.
M.A.H.
It's not there.
Well, it makes it easier.
It does, but this site doesn't know ball.
It's not.
How do you
it's not
just not have
available.
guys in here? It's not.
I mean, it could be someone for the bullpen.
Yeah, Eovaldi's too old.
DeGrom. That's not DeGrom's either. He's also too
DeGrom's too old. Gotta be a guy in his prime. I'm thinking about pitchers in the AL West. I mean, what about the Astros guys?
I mean, put in Hunter Brown. See what pops. See if that pops then.
Hunter Brown. All right.
It's an Astros.
It is Astros.
A high number.
Valdez?
Valdez is a lefty.
Oh.
It's
What else
not
is...
It's not McCullers.
McCullers too old.
Yeah. I don't know how old Bobby Abreu. It's not a starting pitcher. We keep guessing starting pitchers.
Oh, shoot. You're right.
Type in Abreu. See if it's Abreu.
Brian?
Yeah.
Ball lower. I take that pitch 420 dead center, by the way, chat. I'm delusional. I'm kidding.
I didn't realize that's how he threw.
Yeah, that's a pretty nasty. That was pretty nasty.
I didn't realize that he started his hand behind his head. That's
a little weird,
odd.
but
I mean, it hides the pitch, so good for you.
True. All right, well, we were 1 for 2, so we will throw in pitchers. We're going to stick with hitters as long as we get it right, but if we get it wrong, we'll try to redeem ourselves with pitching. Daniel carried us. I clearly was glazing my entire fantasy roster, which will transition into that since we are going over to the MLB really quick. We'll do that really quick since we're already here, and then we'll go to the NFL. We'll come back. So I'll start things off. I'm facing the team that's second place in the league, and I'm spanking the crap out of this bum, 10-2. Cal Riley, what can I say more about my glorious Pookie? Another, I think he had 5 homers this week. Golly, this dude is, 5 home runs. I had 12 and he had 5 of them. This dude is just a menace to society. I'm so glad I reached for him. I didn't reach for him much based off his projections, but I was like, I can't let this guy go, and turns out he's the best hitter of my team. Says a lot because I have Kyle Schwarber, who's also had a pretty decent week. Not anything crazy, only 1 home run, bum, washed. Time to trade him, sell high. But as of right now, I mean, offense isn't going as crazy as usual, but I did eclipse the 100 total base mark, 12 dingers, about 35 RBIs. ERA I'm holding on to right now, and whip. Looks like I'm going to lock up quality starts with 5. I have 8 saves and holds. I was tied with that up until Friday when I got 4 in one day. And then Saturday I got 3 more. So
Sheesh.
the boys just decided to show up. So, which by the way, pick up the week for me was where is he? Palencia for the Cubs. Looking like he's going to be the full-time closer for them now. Bro's been balling out. Hodge probably won't. Probably lost that position. He got me 4 saves this week, I think. So, or I don't remember why I picked him up, but he's had 4 in the last week. 0 ERA, .25 WHIP, 6 strikeouts, 4 innings. So, I'm surprised you let him sit out there. I was holding out, so I wasn't sure if I needed him, and I was like, you know what, I can't let this guy sit out here. So, and then Tyler Soderstrom turned around for me, 2 dingers. So, if I do lose categories today, it's going to be because of quality starts maybe, but it looks like I got a 10-2 lock up, so I'm going to get 8 more games on second place, which will probably put everybody behind me for first by double digits. So I'm sitting pretty comfortably right now. Of course, doesn't mean anything if I, lose one bad week or 2. It'll happen at some point. I'm sure you and a couple other teams will gain a lot of ground because of that, but right now my team's cooking. So, how's your team doing?
I feel like they're rocking out, but it seems like the other guy's team is
bad
rocking
matchup
out more. I currently am looking at it. Home runs, I have 9, which I feel like is a solid number. He has 13.
Oh, you're facing Pat. This lineup is ridiculous.
I have 109 total bases, so
okay.
Feel good about that. Now, the pitching side of things, I feel like I have a 2.13 ERA for the week and a .94 WHIP, and could still lose both of those categories, which is crazy. I need Hunter Brown to lock it in, which he has been. the past couple starts after his one blow-up start.
Mm-hmm.
I also need my pitchers to go more than 5 innings, and their managers to let them go more than 5 innings, because there's been a bunch of times this week where I've had a guy go 5 2/3 or 5 1/3 with only 80 pitches, and he's getting pulled when he's only given up 1 run. So I feel like from the quality start point of view, I feel like I should have more because my pitchers have done well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a 2.13 ERA. That doesn't happen if your starters aren't good. But managers just aren't letting the starters go. And I'm getting, unfortunately,
You're getting snubbed.
I'm getting
tough.
snubbed from good starts, which suck. Saving holds, I only have 6, but I say only. 6 is a good number. I have a bunch of solid relievers that I feel like aren't getting in score or and save positions or hold positions right now, which they're still getting appearances. So I'm still getting that portion of the ERA and WHIP, but their teams either losing and they're coming in, or they're just up by a lot and the guy needs work, so he gets put in.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna end up losing 7-5 unless someone in my roster or on my they're all kind of coming down to the end, but unless someone else or a couple of others pop off.
His lineup's not doing great today, so if you get someone to get a 3-run bomb, you're right there. So
my pickup of the week was Miguel Vargas from the White Sox. Dude, the past couple weeks has been slashing, and so I had a guy go on the IL and was like, you know what, I'll give this guy a shot. I've been watching him, and picked him up this week, and he's been slashing for me too. So
nice.
I think 2 days ago he had a double and a triple, and I was like, I'll take the OPS for that. Today he doesn't have a hit, but he's still got like 4 innings, so he'll come through. He has all week, so overall, a good week for me. Just unfortunate matchup.
Yeah, that lineup's insane. I'm kind of scared of it. I have to face it in 2 weeks, so. But my boys always show up, and if my boys don't show up, Cal Raleigh always shows up, and if Cal Raleigh doesn't show up, Kyle Schwarber shows up. Somebody does always show up for me, so we'll see. But I don't know if I'll get 5 home runs in 2 weeks again out of a catcher. We'll see. But
you know, his name's Cal, so
yeah, he's a goat. Big dumper. He's taking a big dumper over everybody's team this year. So, speaking of Cal Raleigh, we've already talked about this briefly, but we just threw it out there. Aaron Judge probably going to end up winning MVP yet again out of the AL, but should Cal, in your opinion, deserve to be at least in the conversation? Because looking at his numbers, he's got 22 home runs. It is June 1st. 20 freaking 2. Dude's on pace for... It might be on pace for 50. I think he is. So, for a catcher, I mean, we haven't seen that since probably Mike Piazza, to be honest. I mean, there have been catchers that have hit some bombs, but not at this rate. And maybe, granted, it's not sustainable, but the dude's a beast. And what he's doing at the stadium, no less... You know, is not exactly known to be a hitter-friendly park. He's raking. So, do you think he should deserve more respect for at least an MVP nod, even though you probably won't beat out Aaron Judge?
Yeah, no, definitely. The last time I think we've seen a catcher do this was a long time ago, and the amount of wear and tear that you have on your body when you catch. And to be able to still sustain all of that, because if you're catching every game, which Riley probably isn't, he's also probably DHing, but you're involved in all 27 outs. You're calling the pitch, you're receiving the pitch. Like, that takes a wear and tear on your body. You can't play 162 games like an Aaron Judge can, or, I mean, he probably could if he wanted to, but you're not going to, as a manager, put him in that situation where Aaron Judge could, because you could give him 3 days off in the field and let him just DH for you. With Raleigh, he actually needs days off because his body just takes a beating every single day he catches. So I feel like 22 home runs, especially or the pace that he's currently on, is maybe probably not sustainable, but it's very impressive with the position that he plays. Because catcher's not fun. You get beat up all the time, and
Yeah.
it affects you at the plate, which is why a lot of catchers don't hit well, because they don't get as many at bats. B, hitting's not the focus. They're more focused on defensive and controlling the game and all of those things. And so to have a catcher that can do both for you is, I think, worthy of being in the conversation of MVP, especially with the stats that he has.
100%. And I think the thing is, even though it probably won't be sustainable for the home runs, he at the very least he's on pace for easily to hit career high in home runs. Looking this up really quick, I believe last year was a career. I could be mistaken. Yeah, so 34 is his career high. And that was through 153 games, mind you. He is at 57, and he's 12 behind that. So it very easily could fall apart and not get that. Again, as you mentioned, a lot of wear and tear with the position you do. And it's understandable if he did that. I didn't draft this man to be my home run leader, but he is. So he's been fantastic. And just as a reference, I Googled this. He's 8th in AL MVP odds. 8th. He's Wyatt Langford is tied with him technically, which is just disgusting. That's disrespectful. So in order: Aaron Judge number 1, Bobby Witt, Robert Andrew Witt. Let's just read off the full names here. Jose Enrique Ramirez at 3, Tyler My Glorious Pookie Christian Soderstrom. Spencer Enox Torkelson, that's a wild middle name, at 5. Gunnar Randall Henderson at 6. Raphael Devers at 7. Not saying his middle name, I'm gonna butcher it really bad. And then Caleb John Riley, which, by the way, like to point out, 4 of those top 8 are in my lineup. So look out, people. I love my lineup. So that is that. Get Wyatt Langford out of the top 10, though. That's disgusting. He's not been that good.
I don't think he deserves to be in the top 10, but I think
he's been fine.
Having an underrated season.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, in a lineup that's been horrible, that he has been like one of the very's an understatement. Few bright spots. He has looked nice. I will say that. I just think comparatively,
no.
Cal Riley's having a career year at his position, and he's tied. Stop it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Cal should be top 5 at least minimum, but
he's
ridiculous he's at 8. But
in my opinion, I think he's top 30. But
100%, I get him being behind even Jose Ramirez. I can understand that.
Yeah,
but everybody else, it's like Torkelson's cooling off, Soderstrom's coming back down to earth. And as we mentioned, Cal probably does at some point, but he's not going to fall apart like the other two have. So, really quickly, next thing, since we're going to stick with baseball before we go back to football, we're just going to go through our football or baseball stuff. We're going to do a new bit. We don't have a name for it yet, but what the goal is to randomize a modern, quote unquote modern day MLB season. We randomize the year, and we have to try to guess who was in the World Series and who won it. So this is going to be interesting. So I'm going from 1900 to 2024. I might try to bump that up to like 1907 or something. Totally not obvious Cubs cutoff, but I guess I could go 1906. White Sox won it the year before that, so look out, chat, ball nar. Not really. It's just been talked about constantly in Chicago. So we are going to randomize the year. I'm going to do it. Drum roll, and it was 1906. I can't make this up. No. All right. So hang on. I gotta show you this. Like, I am not making this up. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. We are not doing 1906 because I just mentioned the White Sox won 1906. We're gonna redo this. For proof, though, we'll Google 1906 World Series. I guess technically you could guess who they faced. Well, it's Cubs, I'm pretty sure. Yep, White Sox Cubs. Yeah. This was a horrible start to this bit. Of course, it's like, maybe I should have just... Alright, we're going to try this again. If it's 1907 or 08, I'm going to lose my mind. 1996! Wait, hang on. When's the lockout year?
I don't remember.
Is it 95 or 96? Oh, crap.
Here, I'll look.
I think it's 95. I think Marlins won 97, so I gotta think who won. I'm pretty sure 95's the lockout year, so I think we're okay.
Oh, no, not 2020. 1994.
Oh, it was 94. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're good. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
So there was a World Series in 1996.
Yep.
I actually fall apart once the 97 World Series. So I know 97 was Marlins, Indians, went to 7. Marlins won it. Ball knower. But the year before, well, I'm going to go through teams that weren't in it. The Cubs. Then the Red Sox. Woo! 28 to go.
I mean, the Rangers.
Actually, less. Wait, you know what? You know who also wasn't in it? Wasn't in it? Tampa Bay. They didn't exist. Colorado didn't exist. Oh no, Colorado did exist. It was Arizona. Arizona didn't exist yet. You know, the Marlins were in it. I'm just gonna go through division. I gotta think about like who was good around this time. So Atlanta was, but I think they didn't. If they were in it, they didn't win it. I feel like it's gonna be Yankees. Reds were good around this time, but I think they fell apart in the late 90s. I thought they won in 90. I don't think they won beyond that. So let me just go through NL Central really quick. Cubs, no. It might be Cardinals. I don't think so. They're the most likely team out of the NL in the NL Central. Brewers, no. Astros, don't think so. I think their first World Series was 05, so I'm not going to worry about the Astros. Who else is in there? Pirates? Don't think so. I think they were... Oh, hang on. The Pirates were good around this time. They never made the World Series, though, with Barry Bonds. And I think Barry left around that time anyway. So it's not the Pirates. It's definitely not the Pirates. Out of the NL West, who could it be?
I mean, the Dodgers.
It could be, but the Dodgers weren't the Dodgers back then.
No. But they were still...
Most likely out of that group. Maybe the Giants. I don't think it's the Giants. I thought the Giants went on like a pretty long streak of not making a World Series until 2002. I don't think it's them. Could be mistaken. It's not the... Oh, no, are the Padres 98? The Padres are 98.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Frick! I think the Padres did make the NLCS this year, though. The Padres were good in this time. I think it was actually when Bruce Bochy was coaching them.
Probably.
So, shout out to Brucey. Actually, out of the NL West, I think the Padres are the most likely, but I don't think they might have. I'm going to pin them. They might have. I don't remember if they're 0-2 or 0-3 in World Series is my problem. They lost to the Tigers in 84, which was 1984. Some of the most random World Series I'm pulling out here. Why would I know 1984? I don't friggin' know. Rockies didn't exist, or if they did exist, they were not in it. I think the only one they've been in, it was in 07. Who else is in that stupid division? Diamondbacks, who didn't exist yet. Granted, the divisions might also be different, so before y'all are yelling at me, I don't know. I know modern day divisions based off of my childhood. So I know for all y'all saying the Astros are in the AL. I did know that they were in the NL Central.
Yep,
I grew up watching them in the NL Central, so don't test me. I'm going basically off of 2000 division standings for the most part, minus a couple teams that didn't exist. So, okay, so Padres. I think it's Padres or Braves. It might be Cardinals, but it's one of those three out of the NL. I don't think it's Phillies. It's not the Mets. It's not the Marlins. I know that. Was it? The Expos never made it. I don't think.
I don't think so.
The Expos lost a lot of guys by this time anyway, because I think they fell apart because of the lockout. Because they were supposed to win in '94 or face the White Sox at the very least. Okay, so I'm gonna go between those three and come back. Out of the AL, who could it have been? Yeah, the Rangers.
I mean,
I think we would also know that. I think it's the Yankees. I
think
feel,
it is the Yankees.
I feel pretty confident it's the Yankees, but I'm just gonna go through it just in case. It's not the Angels. Oakland could shock us, but I feel like again they won in '89. I think. Oh
yeah,
gosh,
I think they started to go down.
They started to go down. I think they're like the Reds. They started to go down
Yeah.
like right at the turn of the '90s. So I don't think it's them.
Not Seattle.
Minnesota, maybe? Toronto. That's another good one. Toronto won a couple. They were 91, 92, though. I think they also fall apart around this time. I don't think it's Toronto. It might be Minnesota. I'm going to... Screw it. 1996, Twins Braves. Lock it in. I'm going with that. And I think the Twins won it. No. Break. That just seems too late. The Twins Braves did face each other. I know that. I thought they were 93 though. You know what? I think the Braves won this one. I'm going Braves Twins. Braves win in 7. You don't have to guess how many games. That's what I'm going with. I'm fairly certain. Like, I know the Braves were really good. I know the Padres were really good. Cardinals were just a wild card. Out of the AL, we know the Yankees were the Yankees. The Twins were really good in the 90s. The Blue Jays were really good, but I think they, as I mentioned, they'd fallen apart towards the end there. It's not Baltimore. It's not Boston. Boston stunk. And it's not anybody out of the AL West, AL Central or West. So, who are you going with? You going Yankees? you even have a guess?
Let's do Braves, Yankees. Braves win.
That sounds... Oh my gosh, I might want to change it. No, I'll stick with it. I think you might be right, but I think you have the wrong winner.
If I have the wrong winner, it's on purpose. I want to make Yankees.
Braves Yankees, crap! I knew it was too late. And I think the Yankees freaking won it, didn't they?
Nope.
It was Braves. Yeah, Yankees won. Nope, dang it! When was Twins Braves? Was it 93? Was it not? It was 91. Was so was Blue Jays 92, 93? Maybe that's where I got it messed up. Yeah, Blue Jays is 92, 93. If I thought I was a year off with those. Shoot. I knew it. I knew the Twins felt too late. Crap. That sucks. Okay, well, that's going to be a fun bit. I at least got the NL right. You got the NL right. You got both teams right. You just got the World Series wrong, so Daniel wins this one. More of a ball knower. But don't worry. Once we bust out 2000s, you're cooked.
Yeah, that is.
When we say 2000, you're cooked. 2002, I'm locked in. So, if we have time, maybe do one more, but we'll come back to that. So for now, we're gonna go to NFL, most likable to least likable, 9 through 12 here, and the teams we had. As a reminder. First is Jags, second is Texans, third is the Lions, fourth is the Panthers, fifth is the Cardinals, Chargers is sixth, Falcons is seventh, eighth is the Colts. So, I'll lead us off today. I'm going to go Titans here at 9. There is a little controversy maybe with that. Obviously Houston fans got a beef with them taking not only their team, taking those absolute gorgeous uniforms, clean name, with them to Tennessee. So there's a little bit of beef there. But I think ultimately, a team that was 1 yard short of winning the Super Bowl, just along with, they're just still a little bit newer compared to everybody else. They did have Warren Moon was in Houston. I'm sorry. I think there's just a lack of history with them beefing with anybody besides like maybe New England and anybody in division maybe. But like there's not really a big reason to hate them. So other than they might just be like a boring team. No offense. But you guys were for a while under the Jeff Fisher era known as the 9-7 Titans or 7-9 Titans, pretty mid. And you kind of stuck with that name ever since. Vrabel did carry you for a while, did good with Tannehill. But, I just find it hard to believe that there's a ton of people out there beefing with them. And I think a lot of people would say it probably should be higher than this. But I just think with the history of other teams suffering above them, for the most part, gives them the edge over Tennessee. So there's a lot of teams here that people really don't have issues with. Too, for the most part. It's really just a select entire Eastern Coast and LA. So, who are you going with number 10?
I feel like we're getting into rough territory at this point.
Yeah, it's getting a little rougher.
I'm
gonna pull out standings.
That's what I'm currently looking at, trying to figure out. I feel like I'm between two, but I feel like one is more hated than the other. I feel like the Vikings aren't super hated by the league.
I'm debating
in general.
them.
I'm gonna put them here.
Yeah.
I think them in the NFC North. I don't think any of them like each other, but I think once you get outside that division, I don't see any. I personally don't hate Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
I liked when Kirk Cousins was there. Honestly, I like O'Connell as their coach. I think I like Justin Jefferson. I feel like they've got a solid squad there. Honestly, I feel bad that they haven't won one because they have the talent. They've had the talent for a little while. And I feel like personally, if I saw a Vikings, whoever, Super Bowl, I wouldn't be upset the Vikings are there. And I feel like a lot of America wouldn't be upset, maybe other than the people in the NFC North again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was debating on them. I had my eye on them, and I think overall, just with the history that they have, just 0-4 in Super Bowls, one of two teams to do that, and one of the most successful regular season teams of all time. I think they're top 3, actually. Actually, it might be number 1. They win a lot in the regular season. They have a lot of regular season success, but for whatever reason, they just can't get it done. So, the Cubs of the NFL, maybe. I don't know. Only, people hate Cubs fans. So, I think it's a fair team to round out top 10. Number 11, I'm sure there are people screaming, thinking, how in the world did this team fall? But there is good reason for this. I'm putting the Browns here. Couple reasons why they probably slipped. One, AFC North is a notoriously hated division. Not a lot of people are fans of Baltimore, even though they're newer. Already kind of got beef with them. It's Steelers and it's Cincinnati. It's just kind of a nastier division with fan bases overall. But Cleveland's obviously gone through some things, to say the least. To go 1-32 in 2 years or whatever it was, just utterly insane. And to lose your franchise to Baltimore overall is tough. Originally, your original organization. I think what just comes down to is there's some recency biases with Deshaun Watson. That's going to kind of lose you some points. And I know a lot of people are making fun of the organization for trading him and dunking on him for trading for a guy of we'll just say, of his character. I'll put it that way. Um, so I think that's probably why they slipped. If that, like, even something like that didn't happen, they would have been much higher here. But I think, again, just being where they're located to, and just a factor here too could be, they're Ohio State fans as well. Yeah, it might not be fair to do that and just overlook, Houston Texans fans for the Astros maybe, but I do think that could resonate with people a little bit. But overall, Cleveland, you've gone through some crap like everybody on this list, so I'm having them at number 11. If you get rid of Deshaun Watson, I'll move you up. Till then, I don't think people want that guy winning. So, number 12, the last one of the day. Where are you going with?
I'm gonna put the Redskins / Commanders.
Ooh, that's wow.
I feel like recently I feel more bad for them than
Okay.
I actually do. Like, I was personally, as a Cowboy fan, or as a former Cowboy fan, was actually rooting for them in the playoffs
Yeah.
because I like the team that they have in front of them. I think maybe historically you can say that they may be one of the more hated teams, but I feel like in the past 10 years they've struggled so much that a lot of the hate or a lot of the negativity from the Redskins, Commanders, football team, whatever you want to call them, has gone away. I think Dan Quinn is a great coach. I'm sad that the Cowboys let him walk away like they did. I think he's building a great organization down there in Washington, which in year one he went to the playoffs. And I like Jaden Daniels. I like Scary Terry out there. I like the defense is a great defense. Like, I think they're setting themselves up for a lot of success. And I don't think I personally have had any. I mean, maybe early 2000s have had some gripes with the Redskins, but I would say probably the last 10 years, I don't mind the Redskins. I hate the other two teams in that division more.
It's an interesting choice. I did not think an NFC East team was making it this early. Let us know what y'all think. I thought maybe they'd slip a little bit more just because of organizationally, obviously, Mr. Schneider, not a great person / human being, and the name change stirred a lot of mixed feelings. So there's a lot of controversy around them. There is some recency bias. Just a lot of guys, they've had really poor success organizationally. So there is that going for them in the "we're rooting for you" department. But interesting choice. I thought you were going to go. Tampa Bay was a team I was looking at.
I was going to say, that was the other team that I was...
Tampa Bay probably is slipping more than they should be, but there's a lot of teams that have gone through some crap. So, they'll probably be covered next episode. So, but that is our list. So, if just to really briefly go over the four that we covered today: Titans at 9, Vikings at 10, Browns at 11, Commanders at 12. So that will be that. We're inching our way towards the other sports, which I'm kind of dreading. That's going to be a lot harder. I'm now debating if we do NBA last because I just don't know NBA fan bases, but minus the Knicks, Celtics, and Lakers. And Bulls too. Bulls too. The Cowboy fans of the NBA changed my mind. All they do is talk about how good the '90s were and haven't done anything since.
And to round out the top 5 in the NBA, the Dallas Mavericks.
Oof. Most lovable. They definitely have gone through some crap. Come on. Yeah, but some of the nasty things. Yeah, including myself. I did send what's his face 1,000 messages of him getting fired. So I'm part of the problem. But anyway, so next on the agenda. We didn't do loser team of the week for baseball. So Loser team of the week was the Yankees again, because claimed that if they got through that game, they could have won the World Series. I know you couldn't have. You blew it in game one against the series going against the Dodgers right now. We're up like 5-1, 5-2 again, something like that, and lost 5-8. And then game two went very well for the Yankees, losing by is this the dagger 18-2. So
Ohtani
was
seen sleeping on the bench. He was checked out.
Brutal, embarrassing, man. Look, as much as I hate the Dodgers, hey, I do enjoy a good Yankees loss or two, and Yankee fans, just be grateful that Juan Soto left you. So you at least got that going for you. So
yeah.
You can talk about, you be bitter about, a 1-year rental leaving you, but hindsight is not spending $700 million for a guy to struggle to hustle out a freaking batting box. So, dodge the bullet. So, but still the loser team of the league just for those 2 games alone. And with probably other better options. So,
no, that's the best option.
It is the best option. Yankee fans, just don't relatively embarrass yourself next week. I promise you will not get clowned on next week. There will be somebody else. So, all right, over to the NHL. I'm going to go over this in 2 minutes. Around the horn, quick speed round, lightning round. Just kidding, we won't go that fast. But reason I don't really want to talk about this is obviously we all know what happened in the conference finals. You haven't been watching. Live under a rock. Carolina did win a game. They avoided the 0-16 challenge. Unfortunately, I'm kind of mad. But they did lose game 5, so they went 1-15. Stars, pretty much the Carolina Hurricanes of the West. Although to be fair, they've won games. They they start off hot. To be honest, they just can't figure out how to just get to that next step. So, what do you think needs to be done to get over that hump and finally make it to the Cup?
The defense has got to be better. I mean, also, I won't just put it blatantly on the defense. The offense also has to be better. The offense limped through that series. Mikko didn't do well, but also it's hard for Mikko to do well when the people also on his line aren't doing well. Mikko looked good in the series. It just felt like no one else around him on his lines, or whenever he was subbing in for a line and doing an extra shift. None of them looked good with Mikko, and unfortunately for Mikko, he made a couple plays and it just didn't happen because they didn't put it in the net. Johnston has to show up more. I know he had a really good postseason last year, so I'm going to cut him a little bit of slack this year. But he's just gotta get going in the playoffs, especially in the conference finals. Duchesne just disappeared. Stupid penalties. Discipline has to be better. Too many stupid penalties. That's how Game 5 started. Bork with a very, very unintentional high stick. Wasn't even going after the puck or anything. Was trying to skate away and high stick the Oiler. Power play goal right off of that. Just discipline. I feel like there was a lot of moments in that series where Stars had control. They would take a dumb penalty that they didn't need to take, and then they gave up a power play goal. Yeah, I feel like there's got to be change somewhere. Whether it's the system that you're playing, whether it's the rotations that you're making. Edmonton's a different beast. Like, they're not the other teams in the league. They have something that a lot of teams wish that they could have, and they have a lot of speed. And the Stars, for 2 years in a row, never made an adjustment for the speed that Edmonton had, and it cost them every single game. And the system that they were playing didn't work against Edmonton. Which, once again, it didn't work for anyone else in the West because they're the ones that came out of the West. But you have to do something to slow them down. Maybe it's just hitting them. Like, yeah, you miss the puck, hit them. Don't let them get out on their breakaways because that's when they're the most dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, the Stars have to figure something out because Edmonton is going to be a team that you're probably going to have to face again. And if you can't figure them out, you're not going to ever make it past them.
100%. I think for me, it starts with some of the veterans, just too old. Jamie Benn. I mean, this guy, the entire playoff run, he texts me about this dude pretty much every night. What the heck's he doing? He's taking it. Yeah, he took an unnecessary dive, I will say, against, I don't remember if it was Colorado or Winnipeg. Grabbed the stick and put it in his face. I mean, come on, man. But he was taking unnecessary penalties the entire time, and I think part of it is just he's too slow for playoff hockey now. He might be a good asset for the regular season, but he needs to be a healthy scratch come postseason because he was slow. He just, behind the puck, he just wasn't getting it done, and he took too many costly penalties that ended up hurting this team. Tyler Seguin, same thing. I mean, he just took a couple notches back, and there's more promise to him at least because regular season his presence was missed. So you might be able to ride with him a little bit longer. Unlike Ben, but and I know it's hard to move on for your captain, by the way, but it's got to be done. It's got to be dumped off to somebody else, and I would have given it to Wyatt Johnston, but where the heck did that guy go, by the way? We was just minus 17 or more in the postseason. He was just horrendous. He just not had a good run. That being said, he's 22, so
Yeah.
I'll cut him slack. He's young, but it really starts with the vets, you got to get younger. You got to get younger depth pieces, and the system does have that, so there's promise to that. Mm-hmm. So I think that's part of it. And fire Pete Deboer. We'll transition over to this. For starters, great coach. I will say, great coach to turn a program around. There are just certain guys like this in every sport. They can figure out how to win in the regular season, and some of them can go on runs. They just can't figure out a way to win it the whole thing, and that's what Pete Deboer is. He knows how to get deep into the playoffs. He knows how to win. He just doesn't know how to win the championship. It's like he freezes when he gets this close. He knows he's close, but the fact that adjustments weren't made this entire series, clearly, that's on him. And of course, it should say no adjustments. He did something utterly stupid the one time he did make an adjustment, pulling Ottinger. You're down 3, I get it, but you got to look at the context that the defense was to blame. You don't blame your goalie for guys being let wide open, and had he not done that, had he kept Ottinger in, might have been a different game. I'm not saying they would have won. Edmonton scored 6, but the offense woke up too little too late, but they did score a few. So it begs the question, if you kept Ottinger in, what the heck would have happened there? And coming down 3-1 against McDavid anyway, they wouldn't have won the series. I think they were done for either way. So they might have won that game. They weren't beating Edmonton in Edmonton, regardless. So kudos to you guys. But Pete, great guy. Lost respect for your comments. We'll talk about it in a second, but. You got to go to an organization that needs to rebuild Detroit. Chicago. Wish it had been Chicago, but
San Jose. You can go back.
True. You go back to San Jose. Turn an organization around and then just ditch. Because I don't think, sadly, he's not going to win it all ever in my eyes. So speaking of Pete Deboer, his comments, I'll let you go more into this on this. What he said about Ottinger. What were your thoughts on those?
Yeah, I woke up to this in the morning because I didn't watch any of the game. Actually, let me rephrase. I watched the first 5 minutes and then saw the 2 goals and was like, okay, it's over. And turned it off and didn't watch the rest of the game. He, in a sense, blamed Otter for losing the series. He said, I'm not going to put it on Ottinger, but then continued to blame Otter for it, and said that Otter hasn't looked good against Edmonton and hasn't, I think he said the last 6 of 7 against Edmonton is lost, and in a sense throwing the franchise goalie that you have down the drain because he's going to be there. He's on a 6-year, $66 million deal. Otter's not going anywhere. Dallas loves Otter. We want Otter. And it wasn't his fault. I mean, if you want to just look at Game 5, I won't even go to Game 1 through 4 because that Otter didn't get pulled in any of those. The 2 goals that Otter gave up were on a power play that shouldn't have been, or on a power play on a penalty that shouldn't have been taken. A careless penalty, not being in control of your stick and high sticking someone when the puck is nowhere near you, and then leaving a 40-year-old Corey Perry, who, yes, he's 40 years old, but is still a known goal scorer throughout his career, in front of the net by himself when Otter has no chance to save it. Corey Perry intentionally deflected it in a way to where even if Otter pushed off and was able to even move a little bit more than he did, Otter was not getting that puck. So, that's not his fault. That's the weak side defense or the forward that's supposed to come down and pinch that. That's their fault. That's not Otter's. He can't save that. No one, even the best goalies in the league, Bobrovsky, I mean, we saw Hellebuck, aren't saving those either because it's virtually impossible to save that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one, your defense pinched in an unnecessary time and created a 2-on-1 opportunity, and then the defender that's in the 2-on-1 opportunity
picked up the wrong guy.
Didn't defend well. So it's once again a wide open net. Otter's having to, like he's supposed to, stare down the shooter because that's his guy. And when his defender doesn't do his job and leaves the guy across the ice wide open for an easy tip-in, once again, not Otter's fault. And then later in the game, the Smith is in the game, and McDavid gets a breakaway. So, is that DeSmith's fault for letting that goal in? I'm not saying Otter was the greatest in this series. Yes, there were definitely times where there were some goals that were like, okay, Otter, you probably should have saved that. But also, when he has to be perfect because his defense isn't helping in front of him, you let in little goals and silly goals that you know you should have saved because you're trying to be perfect. And you can't be, especially against Edmonton.
No. It's tough. It's a tough series for Dallas, and I just still kind of shell-shocked by it because at the very this team's good enough to not lose in 5, and clearly they just let this series get into their heads and try to do too much, and it's just tough. So good for Edmonton. Really quickly, who do you got winning the cup? And how many games are you watching? I'm watching 0 seconds. So
Florida.
Going Florida again.
Yeah. I think it'll go 6, 7.
Going 6.
I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna go 6 this time. I don't know. I may watch it. It may be on in the background. I'm probably not gonna actually watch it, but it'll probably be on in the background.
Yeah. Screw it. I'll go Edmonton just because will it age poorly? Probably. But I want one of us to be right and one of us to be wrong. So
I just don't want Canada to get another one.
I don't want him to get it, but it's just McDavid's on a mission.
That's fair.
And we've talked about how bad Skinner is, and bro locked in this series. Kudos to you, my man. Dogged on you, and you proved us wrong. So don't prove me wrong again by trusting that you can outplay Bobrovsky, which you probably can't, but you never know. So I think if Edmonton's gonna win, it's got to go 7. I don't think they're gonna win it sooner. I could be wrong. Again, I thought they were gonna lose this series to Dallas in 6. So, but McDavid's just a whole different beast. It just comes down to, can their defense make the right plays, and can Skinner not come out of the net with 2 seconds left and just let Vegas tip in a game-tying goal. So, sorry, Jeff, I had to get that one in there. Or Stuart, not Jeff. Well, they have both Skinners, actually, so never mind.
Yeah, they do.
I forgot about Jeff Skinner.
They do.
I forgot they had both, so... So really quickly, too, our 2 seconds of NBA talk. Pacers, Thunder, who winning? Yep, Thunder in 5. Anyways. I really want to go Pacers just for memes. They've been electric. So they beat the team that beat the defending champs. But it's just feeling like the Thunder's year. So their first championship as the Thunder. Most people would say it's their first ever, but technically speaking, that ring from the Supersonics did transfer over to their organization. Do I think that's stupid? Yes. But on that note, on a technicality, they are not ringless. So, who you got?
I want to say the Pacers. I like the Pacers. They're an underrated and underdog story. And I like Halliburton. I think he's also an underrated player, and I think he showed throughout this playoffs that his name should be mentioned more. I think my pick is going to be the Pacers. Now, do I think it's actually going to happen? No, I think the free throw merchant himself is unfortunately going to win. But my actual official pick is the Pacers.
You're full sending Pacers. Well,
yeah,
I'm not gonna overthink this one. I think it's gonna be the Thunder. I mean, just that team is stacked. And friendly reminder, I think they have 4 first-round picks. By the way, going into this draft, I gotta give credit to their GM. That's just unbelievable that you win a ring, might lose guys, and said, "Oh no." Anyways, like that's just nuts. So. I think Chet is just going to feast against this team. I think Indiana's going to struggle to guard him. And then, as you mentioned, the free throw merchant will probably go to the line 20 times a game. So I think it's just going to be too tough for Indiana. But Indiana's proven everybody wrong. The last 2 years, no less. Nobody had them going to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And certainly nobody had them going to the NBA Finals this year. Granted, I did have them beating the Cavs in my own minds because we know Donovan Mitchell is a second-round merchant. So, sorry, Don. But it's true. You've never been to the conference finals in your life. So, until you do it, you got to prove it's wrong. But
Pacers and 4.
Pacers and 4? All right, now you're crazy. I will pay you $50. $50. You hear here. I'll give you Venmo you $50 if the Pacers sweep the Thunder. Oh my gosh, that would be insane. I'm not putting up a bet for my pick, but I'll go. I'll give the Pacers a win. Thunder in 5. So I couldn't think of a Shannon thing because I'm not that creative. So Caitlin Clark, Indiana Spark. Indy 500 remarks, doesn't matter, Thunder in 5. See, I'm terrible at it. It's LA Spark anyway, whatever. To close it out, screw it, we're going to do one last World Series prediction really fast. And this time it's 1940, so we don't have to overthink this one. I'm going Yankees Cardinals, screw it.
You said it was 1940? The Indians... And NL West. Or not NL West, NL team. I need a team. Dodgers.
Indians, Dodgers. We're both going to be wrong. I'm worried that... Wait. Were the Giants in this yet? No. I'm just sticking with what I got. It might be the Tigers and Giants. Maybe, but I'll stick with it. No, stop it. It was Tigers, Reds. No! I don't! Oh, I thought about it. I should have done it. Crap. I was really debating it. Oh, that's okay. Well, that was a tough one. Hey, I'm going to give myself an asterisk Mickey Mouse because I did say I think it might be the Tigers. I'm going to give myself a half point. 1940, so it was Tigers beat Reds, and I'll write down what we predicted later. But any final thoughts before we head out?
No, I don't think so.
All right, we'll see y'all in the next episode, which will probably, since we're recording here in back-to-back days, probably just a ton of championship predictions, some quizzes, and just some little fun trivia stuff. So we will see you all later.